Hi, I'm Leighton Hart. I'm here with the Renzettis today, and I'm going to be asking some questions about the commemorative Grandmaster Vise that we've done for the 50th anniversary. First off, did you ever see yourself here for 50 years whenever you first started?
Not in my wildest dreams did I think I'd be where I'm at today. It's just been something I enjoy doing. I just started out making my own thing that I needed, and then it kind of grew into make some more, and it just kept going. And I'm really not sure how I got here, but I got here. But it's it's been a kind of amazing journey and a lot of fun. And the people in this industry are probably some of the most awesome people I think you'll ever meet. I don't think there's another industry. Fly fishing. I don't care where you go in the world, you meet somebody who fly fishes, it's like an instant friend. It's just phenomenal. And that's what makes everything the whole thing worthwhile.
So, can you tell me some of the thought process that went into when you're designing the actual vise set itself?
I kind of knew what I needed to make, but until I got into computerized machinery, I was totally incapable of doing it by hand. Simplicity was the main focus. It's got to be simple, but everything has to function. Everything has to have a purpose. The jaw system, that was the number one. If it doesn't hold hook, the rest of the thing is useless. I knew I had to have a little short lever and everything was, compact, but it has to hold hooks. So I made, I think 7 prototypes. I gave some to a couple of my good tire friends, and I gave one to Lefty. Lefty's like the most honest person I ever met. And I gave him the prototype, and I said, okay, what do I need to fix? He says, absolutely nothing. And the funny thing was when I made the production vise, and I numbered them, Lefty got number 2. I still have number 1.
And you have number
And I told
2.
Lefty, I said, you have to give me back the prototype. I need the prototype. And he really reluctantly said, okay, I'll give it to you. But he did not want to part with that place.
Yeah.
So, now I'm going to ask you about some of the accessories that come with the commemorative Grandmaster Vise. We can start with the spinning attachment. Where was the original idea for that?
The spinning attachment was actually Lefty's request. He said, I want a big knob so I can just spin it with my fingers. The knob's too small. I need
Real practical addition
Yeah,
to it.
he liked to just keep spinning it. So that's where the spinning knob came from.
And what about the speed crank?
The speed crank was Rusty Gates, I'll Save a Lodge. He said, I need something I can really spin the hell out of this thing. Okay. So I came out with a gear ratio that you could just crank it and just really spin it. Because I think he was doing like woolly boogers and stuff that it's just all wrapping. Just and so Rusty pushed me for a couple of years. You got to do something with this. And then I finally said, okay, I'll figure out how to do this.
Yeah, it seems like most of these ideas came out of necessity for different styles of tying
Right, exactly.
everything through the years. Yeah. And then we also have the Clouser arm, and as you can tell in the name, it came it's pushing for that one.
Well, okay, first of all, Clouser with his
The minnow arm?
The clouds of minnow.
Clouser minnow. The way he ties that, he needs more just straight because they had some long tails.
Mhm.
So the bent arm facilitated it to a certain degree, but not as comfortable as what he needed.
Yeah, they didn't really need the true rotary with that, but more of just the straight length, right?
Well, yeah, and then flipping it over, because everything really, that tie slides in a sense upside down.
Yeah.
And that's what he needed, just be, and then put eyes or whatever on. So I said, okay, you just need a straight arm with a straight jaw, like a regular vice, but on, but still rotary.
Yeah.
And so Bob and I worked on that until he was satisfied with what we came up with. And he said, that's good, make it.
There you go. And then a couple of the other accessories we have are just some stem extensions, and we got the midge jaws and lap extension. And from what I understand, that's mainly just like basic customer feedback, I think, wasn't it? Just like strictly one person.
Basically all customer feedback. I need a little higher stem, or I want it further out. I want it out over the table. But I said, well, and actually in the very beginning, I never made bases. They were all C-clamps originally. There were no bases. And then we got into bases. But even at that, people still like to have it out over their lap. And that's where the lap extension came from. So that they could put it on their base or their C-clamp and have it hang out over the table so they could sit and tie.
Yeah, I definitely think that's one of the most underrated accessories that come with the Vise, because the convenience level that adds is extraordinary.
The
But
comfort
most
level.
suitable for C-clamp.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also the comfort level.
Right.
You can sit comfortably on your
You
seat.
get whatever height you want, but it's out off the table, so you're
It's like completely user defined.
So now I'm going to ask you a couple questions about the Vise head itself. And one of the things I would like to know is why it's got the set ball bearings on the inside of the head.
Ball bearings were kind of twofold. The main reason was if you got kind of balanced, you could just spin it and just keep going. If it didn't have the bearings in there, it was just a very, nice fit for the shaft, it wouldn't spin freely.
Yeah.
So the bearings just make it, if you want to spin it with a spinning attachment or the speed crank, it just goes so smoothly. So it just made a smoothness almost perfect. You could spin it and it would just sit there and go.
Yeah, it eliminates all that friction inside of the head.
There's no friction.
Yeah.
And people love that.
Yeah. Another thing I've noticed that people like a lot is the one-way clutch in the actuator arm.
Yes.
Yeah, and the smoothness of that too.
The one-way clutch came about actually in the very beginning, because what I found was if I wanted to flip the fly upside down, my crank arms sticking straight up in the air, and I was in my way. So I figured, well, if I use a one-way clutch, you can just fall out of the way, but I can still wind this way, but it's free going this way. So I could just spin it back out of the way, so I could just rest and do what I wanted to do. And then wherever I wanted to stop, if the crank arm's in the way, I just hit it and it would just fall down.
Yeah.
So it kept the crank arm out of the way, so you could rest your hand on on top of the vise without the crank arm being in the way.
Yeah, that makes good sense. So one thing at Renzetti that we all take pride in is the teamwork that goes behind everything. And so I know Lily and Andrew, you're both instrumental, and everybody that's in the shop is.
Absolutely.
So tell me some of your feedback and some of the thought processes that you went through with marketing and anything else that might come to be.
When we look at the presentation and what we wanted to accomplish dates back to 2020, we wanted a product where we can really represent what Renzetti have brought to the industry, all the innovations, the true rotary, the lever jaw, all the different accessories. So when you look at our product line, we felt that the master was the one that represents all of that. It goes from one extreme, the person can tie a number 28 to a number 10 off. So we wanted to make sure that whatever we were putting on the marks on this 50-year anniversary will encompass all of our journey and the innovations that we have brought to the industry. So we have a friend, a couple, another couple, and we meet every so often for lunch. So and he is an unbelievable woodworker. He is crafty, a beautiful presentation. So I asked him, said, Gary, I have a project that I would love to see if you're interested in doing with us. And when I mentioned to him what we had in mind, he fell in love with the idea. And that's what we needed, somebody that believed on what we were trying to do and put his own input and love into the project. To elaborate a little bit into what Andy said, every accessory that we chose into this package is designed after somebody that have put a lot into the industry. Lefty, Bob Popovics, Gleiser, they were all innovators.
And out of necessity too.
And out of necessity. So we wanted to make sure that we encompass that. We include the streamer base, which has been the streamer base actually. You were instrumental in getting that streamer base into the market.
The customers too. I mean,
the customers, yes. You do the shows, you hear the feedback, so your input into this has been also instrumental, and that's the beauty of the whole project.
Yeah.
Everybody in
Everybody in the shop had a major role that.
And the customers.
Yeah, of course.
And the customers.
But he not only hears the people, he listens. And the whole idea is to give the customer what they want.
To me, presentation was instrumental, and I wanted to be something that when somebody gets it, they felt that we're getting something beautiful, not just on the presentation, but also what was inside that box.
Yeah.
It was a very long process, and then we had COVID on the middle of it, so it truly delayed introduction of the product, but overall it was truly a labor of love. Like when you look at Renzetti, it truly has been a labor of love. And Andrew handles the manufacturing aspect of it, so he has his own challenges.
And speaking of that,
and the major one was presentation, honestly. Not in a bad way, but just then we make these parts all the time. This is a standard off-the-shelf vise, but it's also not, because everything is high polish, and that's not something we've done since the early 90s.
Yes.
Doing the 100 of these for the entire vise head, all the accessories and everything, it took a whole year.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up too, because there is only 100 of these, and they are serial numbered. 001 through 100. And that's it.
And on top of that, high polish removes a lot of material, and we had to go through a couple batches of parts until we figured out how to make the vise work properly and also have the appearance that we were trying to achieve. And that was a huge hurdle that we put on ourselves, but we figured out how to do it.
You got almost every accessory laser as well to match.
Yeah, so for the majority of it, we lasered the serialized laser pretty much all of the accessories that came with the Grandmaster.
The C-clamp, the Clauser arm, the speed crank, and the last
and then the base is signed by Andy on the bottom, and also serialized.
The lid is also signed by Andy too on the bottom.
And then we had the lids laser engraved. Everything was pretty much made locally. I mean, obviously we made all the vise and everything. And then the box was made by Gary, who was actually an old dealer of ours and an avid fly tire and fisherman. And,
yes, a dear friend.
I mean, they've been friends with us for 25 years, probably.
We were going to machine all this quality stuff, and then put it into a not
Yeah, just a
qualified box.
regular. Yeah, like this isn't something that you're buying because you want to use it. This is something you're buying because you want to have it and show it. And if you use it, that's amazing. And if you don't, it's still something cool to be on the shelf.
Sounds like to me you should go ahead and start planning the 75th anniversary.
No.
Vise.
I polish. We start planning now. We need the deadline.
So later, when you think about your journey and what this meant as an staff, one of our
Most
team,
pivotal staff.
oh my God, you are so smart.
Thank you.
So one of our team players, what does it mean to you?
Well, I think you kind of said it right there. It is teamwork, every bit of this. Most of the components start as a raw 12-foot bar, and it takes everybody in the shop to machine that, to polish it, to finish it, cleaning it, put it together, get it in the box. We had staff help design the stickers, the box size. It's hard to even find one that, because we had this made before we found the box, so we had to make a box around it. And just everything, I mean, absolutely everything that went into this was attention to detail. And we had to torture Andy. We had to have him sign the base, sign the lid. And he just loves doing that kind of stuff. I know. But it's the teamwork behind it. And that everybody's got their hands on this, including the staff, the customers that give their feedback, and the customers that give their feedback, 30 plus years ago. So it's just all of that coming together into this product.
This is the magnum opus
Yeah,
of Renzetti.
It just doesn't get any better than this.
And some people have purchased this vise and they put it on a safe. They have shared with all that. They put it on a safe, and our hope is that they use it because it truly is designed. Yes, it is a heirloom piece. There is no doubt about it, but it is truly designed to be used, to be enjoyed, and to do beautiful, to create.
I'm glad you brought that up too,
vise.
because there's some maintenance that goes behind this. You don't want to just leave it in the box and stick it in the closet somewhere because you're like, oh, it's so nice, I don't want to use it. No, you have to keep it wiped down, and it comes with like a treated rag that you can keep the aluminum polished and wiped down with. And it's just, it's made to be used.
So it comes with the polishing cloth for people to
It comes with all the instructions, warranty card, of course, and serial numbered between 1 and 100. And we've already came off a bunch of these, so it's first come first serve. We're not holding any for anybody.
No, and we're
so.
not going to make any.
But as an employer, I think that the most gratifying thing for Andy and I was the involvement of the staff.
Yeah.
How this truly became a team effort for everybody, from the polishing that took
It took a whole year.
hours and hours
It took probably a whole
to
year.
get the perfect polish on them, to be
Everybody has
serialized.
skin in it.
Well, the truth of the matter is, we have awesome machinery, but if you have nobody that knows how to use it,
Yeah, it's
it's
useless.
useless. It's the entire staff that just loves what they're doing and that takes extreme pride in everything that we do.
Yeah.
And
No,
that's for me, that's the most amazing, rewarding thing ever.
Every step of the way. We got Aaron and Jose machining all the parts. We had Carly doing the majority of the polishing, and Terry doing a bunch of the cleaning and metal finishing on it also. And then all the way upstairs for the girls who assemble, we had Julia, Sylvia, and Mel in the shipping department. It takes every single person to get this all together and out the door.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't happen without them all.
But it goes.
And also you three.
Well,
And it
you.
also takes the three Renzettis too, I'll tell you that.
Leighton, you can have all these people to do things, but what is the beauty of it, and I think it has to do a lot to the way
We've generated
our
pride in it.
organization work is, and our teamwork is, the pride that they take is not just the Renzetti name, it's part of them into this.
Yeah.
And that is the beauty of it. And to me, I am amazed at how they're able to feel so the ownership that they have in everything they do.
Yeah.
And I mean, when this project came about and we started putting it together, you saw that excitement and that spark of, I want it to be perfect.
Yeah.
And it wasn't just perfect for us, but for that person receiving that, because
For everybody.
it was the journey of Renzetti. 15 years is in there. I know that I wanted to bring the polishing part into this vise.
Yeah, it's the old school. It's the
And it's
original.
because I
Yeah.
wanted to bring
old
the
school.
old, the
It's an aesthetic.
original with the
Yeah.
new. And yeah, it would have been wonderful to be on a green anodized or perhaps a different color, but I wanted to bring the old.
Well, there you have it. I think that about sums up everything that we've put into the commemorative Grandmaster Vise. And the main thing that we want here at Renzetti is for all the customers to just enjoy it and use it, and just want you all to know everything that we put into it. So I think it might be time to cheers.
Yeah,
Cheers.
definitely. Cheers for another 50?
Yeah,
Wow.
I think so.
I hope so.
You gotta put that in.
I think it's a good way to end it too.
Yeah.